Hello and welcome to Off the Charts, episode 165. As you can see, I've got the Kansas connection with me today. So on the top right would be see, no, every time
I'm on the left.
to my left, I got Kevin from the US. Under me, it would be Steve from New Zealand. And on the other diagonally for me would be birthday boy Keith. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thanks, Kevin.
You don't look a day over 28.
Yeah, I'll take that.
So before we start off, last time we didn't have a name. So then Steve came up with the name Kansas. But in my brilliant French Canadian head, I thought so Kansas, so it's CA for Canada, NZ for New Zealand, and US for US. My brilliant mind goes, oh, CANZUS. So anyway, I think on Kevin's, I forget where, someone said it out loud. I don't know if it was Keith or Steve or Kevin. I'm like, but you guys all said it the same way except for mine. So apparently I'm wrong on pronouncing. So it's the Kansas connection. There you go.
We know you can't say the names of things properly anyway, so.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, all three of them are saying it that certain way, and I'm saying Kansas. But, all right, so the Kansas connection. The reason for today's episode will be, it would be an answer, and I'm going to put the link on the bottom too there. The Contrarians, that's another YouTube channel, I'm sure most people are aware of it, did their top 3 favorite EPs. And I watched the whole thing and I was like, my God, there's missing a lot. Like their top 3s are not at all or a few here and there, obviously there. So I said to the guys, you know what, how about we do our top 3 favorite EPs? Now, does anybody here know the exact definition of the word or what an EP is?
No clue.
It's
extended
shorter.
play.
What's that?
Extended play, I think, is what it stands for. But
it's shorter than a normal record, larger than a 45 single. Sometimes it averages 4 to 6 songs. It's when you want to do a little album, I guess. Sometimes it's also called a mini album, right?
Mini LP.
Mini album, EP. So anyway, how about we go, like I said, one at a time? We'll just show one. Mine are not in a particular order. I don't know if you guys are there. But we'll just put our one at a time until we have 3, and then we'll have our honorable mentions. And then I got a little question for the rest of the panel here. So let's start with Birthday Boy.
Okay.
What would be one of your favorite EPs of all time?
Well, when I was pulling some records out last night, like you were just saying, the definition, some are labeled mini LPs, and then you've got your 12 inches. Sometimes there's 12 inches that have like 4 to 6 tracks on them. So I haven't included those because usually there's like a main track that, and then just like cuts that didn't make the album.
Like maxi singles, I think, right?
Yeah, even like 45s that have quite a few tracks on them. So the one that I picked is Queensryche debut. What? Samesies?
Go ahead.
That's fine if we got. That's fine if we got Steve. That's fine.
I've got a pile of others. So there's probably a few that Dan might have that I can swap out. There's no problem. But yeah, the debut, and this was one that they shopped around quite a few record companies.
What label is that on? I forget.
I've got a Japanese one. It's got EMI America.
Okay.
But I think they had to sort of do an independent release first of all before it caught on. And I like the that logo there.
Yeah.
They of course they changed that, and they named the
For me, it looks
the
upside
band.
down.
Yeah, yeah. So it was the song Queens of the Reich, and then they sort of turned that into the name of the band.
Yeah.
They couldn't use their other name. I forget the other name at the moment, but this, when I heard this, and just like I haven't heard anything like Jeff Tate's voice,
Yeah.
and of course Chris Carmo on guitars, and Queen of the Reich, what a great song.
Oh,
Lady Wore Black, yeah. So as my first pick would be,
all right.
It's only got 4 songs on it.
That's okay.
Yeah,
We're
so
very loose on the what the definition of EPs are there. But,
so there's a bit of cheating. There's a bit of cheating room for you guys, if with some of the stuff you can. But that's my first pick.
I did not cheat.
Yeah. I tried not to. There was lots of other stuff from other, but this sort of makes the format. I thought this made the format. So
yeah,
perfect.
That's my first pick. Queen's Right debut.
All right, let's try Kevin's.
Okay, so mine is on a CD, but I first found out what an EP was because my friend had this, and he brought it on a school bus in like 82, 83, whenever it came out, and it blew me away. But guess what it is?
Samesies.
Well, you know what? It goes with our tastes.
But it's different. It's different because this one has 5 songs on it.
yeah.
Really?
When it first came out, it had the 4 songs, and then I bought this in 1990. I have the cassette, the original, which is the one my friend had actually. But this one, they added a song, "The Prophecy," or just "Prophecy." It's at the very end. I don't know if you can see.
Okay.
But and I don't really like that song that much. The originals were great. And this one was, I guess, their first release ever.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. So, but same thing goes with, as Keith said, all the other good stuff with it. But I was hoping none of these guys would not have this.
Surprise, yeah. Well, we'll see
Yep.
later on if it shows up. Again. All right, Mr. Steve, what you got for us?
All right, yeah. Well, I mean, I actually thought about the Queen's Right one as well. Such a classic, EP and release. And that one was on the Contrarians as well, I think, Dan. Is that right?
Yes,
I think I
yeah.
saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the one I'm going to go for, and also, I have a feeling I could have one on here that you might have, Dan, but I don't think it's going to be this first one, but we'll see. So the probably my favorite EP is from a band called Gesher, and this is a picture disc version of it. I really love the picture disc, really cool. And then on the other side, that's what the album cover looks like. And I like it so much. I've got 2 versions. I've got the actual normal record version of it, and the picture disc version of it. And so it's got 7 songs on it. So it's quite a long EP, I suppose. And this was their first release, and it's actually a one and done. Like they released this. It came out in '87 on Heavy Metal Records, and that's it. The guitarist, I'm not sure actually, because they're kind of all wearing makeup. It's also quite hard to tell who they are. But the guitarist, he goes on actually and plays for I think it's Peter Black. I think it's his name. He goes on and plays for King Diamond. And actually, these guys are they're kind of a little bit like King Diamond meets Kiss sort of thing. They're a little bit more melodic, but there's some King Diamond elements, certainly, like, even the makeup and stuff like that. But yeah, so he goes on to join King Diamond. Actually, the drummer in this band was the original drummer in Europe, so he played on Europe's first album. And then they also, after this, so they did then record another, I think, like 4 or 5 songs, but it never got released. But you know, they did one of those retrospective type releases, so you can get the bands like it's like a CD, and it's got all the songs from this plus 4 or 5 other songs that kind of makes a full album. But it's been released retrospectively, sort of thing. But yeah, it's heavy. It's good 80s metal, but still quite melodic and quite unusual. Like it's called the album's called Phantasmagoria, which is a bit of a mouthful. And yeah, some of the song titles are quite interesting. Claws of Sin, S&M Youth, Shock Rock School, Gangland Sector 21. Really unusual song titles and lyrics. But I loved it. I got it like pretty much like back in the day when it came out. Actually, interestingly enough, I got this out from the library. So we used to be able to get records out from the library, and
I did too.
Yeah. And that's how I first heard it, and then just went and brought it as soon as I could find it at a record shop. But what I did was I got it out from the library, taped it onto blank cassette, and just played the hell out of it. So yeah. But because home taping is killing the music industry.
What was the name of the band?
Geisha.
I've never
Geisha.
heard.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one.
Show the cover just toward the camera, just to.
Got a bit of a sticker on the corner there, but yeah.
Is that the library sticker you stole?
It looks like it, eh? Maybe it is. Actually, it could be. Maybe what happened was because I got it out from the library, and then it went in. I don't think I stole it. But
I don't think.
I don't think so.
He's a wanted man.
Sorry, I've lost the record. But sometimes they did sell them after a while. But I don't know.
Yeah, nice save there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I've never heard of those guys.
Oh, check them out.
I will. All right, I'll go for my first one. I doubt you guys have this one, but this is probably one of my favorite EPs ever. So I'm going to go with Kim Mitchell. There are no songs, on this, no hits at all. Like, to me, the second album, which was Akimbo Alogo, was his first one. This is like a Canadian. This actually only got issued on CD like less than 10 years ago, like with the 6,000 copies, which I have it on CD also. But talk about a perfect album. Like, this is the back right here. Kids in Action is actually, this song Kids in Action was on a Max Webster Greatest Hits, which was what I got at the time. I was like, I don't have that Kim Mitchell song. And then of course I did dig. I'm like, oh, he has an EP after this. So and of course I know Martin Popoff also loves this. Is probably his favorite EP. I couldn't agree more. It's got everything on this, like prog, pop, heavy, bluesy stuff. Like, it's got like none of these. There's 5 songs on it. None of these 5 songs sound at all like the other. My favorite one would be Chain of Events. That's probably the heaviest one then, but it's like this EP is all over the place. So I'll put my favorite here, the EP from my favorite Canadian artist, which is Kim Mitchell. So there you go. Easy to find on vinyl, not on CD. Because it got
those are both interesting. Yeah, both interesting picks.
So
did you get that like back in the day sort of thing, Dan, or was it sort of after you heard it was really good, you sort of caught up on it?
I bought the CD first. Like, I didn't know. Again, to me, I thought Kim Mitchell started with his album that features, Go for Soda and all that. I've never heard of this because there's no hits on that at all. It's not radio hits. It's a very good album and to the point. Like, there's no fillers on that there. But I didn't know about it because there's no hits on this. And I was like, after reading, that Martin Popoff book, I'm like, oh my God, he's got an EP also. I'm talking way back there, like,
yeah.
But CD was very difficult to find at the time because it was never reissued on CD or never issued on CD, only on vinyl and cassette. So it took me a while to get it. There you go. All right, there's mine. So let's go for number 2 with Mr. Birthday Boy Keith here.
Okay. My number 2 is it's considered a EP, and I have shown this on my channel, so I'm recycling a bit of things, but it's over an hour's content on it. But it is considered an EP. It's a Dream Theater, Change of Seasons. So there's one.
Vinyl. You got it on vinyl.
Yeah. I got it quite a while ago. I didn't know, I just picked things up. I didn't know it was quite hard to get on vinyl. So it's I think it's blue vinyl, and it's so it's basically, I think after they did Images and Words, they were going to do a double album, I think, and there was a lot of material left over. Like there was a 23 minutes. This piece is a Change of Seasons. It's in 7 parts as well. So I don't want to get too much into the weeds about this because there's quite a bit to talk about. This is James Labrie on vocals, John Petrucci on guitars, and of course Mike Portnoy on drums. Very, very technical heavy metal. So it wasn't, I don't think it was released till about 1995 on CD, somewhere around then. And it's 2 records in here. The second record is just a live concert that they did. So they're just doing covers of different bands that they like. The Elton John covers like that. But the main piece is A Change of Seasons, which it just sort of explores the cycle of life. I am going on a bit about it, I know. So it's the concept of it is how people are sort of isolated in their minds. Everyone's got their own sort of world, and it's just like a mask. And this was Mike Portnoy wrote this, and it had a lot to do with his sort of thoughts at the time. He lost his mother, and he was into sort of the concept albums like Pink Floyd's The Wall, which sort of explores like Roger Waters losing his father and like that. So anyway, I won't go into the weeds too much, but my second choice is Dream Theater, A Change of Seasons. I just like this because it just takes you on a long musical journey of sorts. So it's my second choice.
That one was on the Contrarians, and it was there a lot, right?
Oh, really? So I'm 2 for 2 for the Contrarians so far. I didn't know. I haven't seen it.
I had that EP back then. I think it was on CD. That covers medley is amazing. That was
good.
That was the first time I heard Genesis Turn It On Again and Carry On Wayward Son. I forget what else was there, but I thought that live medley was amazing.
Elton John, yeah.
Good choice.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Kevin.
Okay. My second one is from an alternative rock band from the 90s. When I first started college, the internet was kind of new, showing how old I am. And they didn't have like we have now where you can just go find anything. They had a lot of things that were like message boards. And you could pick a subject, whatever you wanted, and a lot of them had bands and stuff. And there's this band called Live. And the people on there talked about this EP like it was super rare and everything. And I had never heard of it. I had heard their first album, which was called Mental Jewelry. And the album, the EP is called 4 Songs. And they made it sound like it was so rare that you'd never find it. One day I walk into Walmart and they got like 10 of them just sitting there. And I was like, well, either Walmart bought them all up or, I just got really lucky.
Yeah.
This says 2 songs from their first album. This came out before the first album, so it's not technically a single. It says it's an EP, whenever you look it up. The Operation Spirit and Good Pain are on their first album, but there's a song on here called Heaven Wore a Shirt, which was never on any album. And it's the one that the people want this for. And then there's another song called Negation that it's good, but it's not, but they were really big in the 90s. They were one of my favorites, for alternative rock. And yeah, I doubt anybody's gonna put that on their favorites list, but it just
4 song. Never even heard of that one.
Yeah, it never gets talked about either, like, as far as I can tell, because it came out, I guess, because of the 2 songs that are on the first album kind of cancel this out, but it came out probably 4 or 5 months before the album came out, and they had another album that was under a different band name, so I don't count that. I never even heard that one. But anyway, live 4 songs.
All right.
And I don't know if that's on
I know the
vinyl.
band.
Oh, that's good band. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Steve.
Was that Kevin? Was that released? So that was released, do you say, after their first album, but before Throwing Copper? Or Throwing Copper?
Before, Throwing Copper. This came out before Mental Jewelry, which is the first album under the live.
Yeah.
There's another one that I had it written down here. There's another album called The Death of a Dictionary, but the name of the band was Public Affection at the time. So I don't know. And that came out in 1989. This came out in 1991, and Mental Jewelry also came out in 91, but this came out like maybe September or something, and Mental Jewelry came out in December, I think. And then Throwing Copper came out in 94, which was their biggest album.
You talked about that 1989 album. Is it basically the same band, but they just changed their name to Live?
That I don't know. I think it's probably some of the people, if not all, but I'm not sure. I heard about it a long time ago and I forgot completely. And this morning when I was looking over this stuff, I saw it and I was like, oh, I forgot to even look that up, and I didn't have time to really get into it.
They were huge in the 90s. Like you'd probably know Keith. Like in here in New Zealand, they were big in the 90s. They played on the radio all the time.
They were pretty big here too in Canada.
They had probably 5 albums that were really popular. I saw them once or twice. They came here, festival kind of things where they played like 30 minutes or whatever. But I used to just be a big fan of them, and
they opened for the
Throwing Copper is great. It's great. I sort of started losing interest a little bit after each album after sort of thing, but and then they broke up with their vocalist and got a new vocalist in for a while, didn't they? But
I think so. I know they had an album that was called Songs from the Black Mountain, and that one was terrible. I didn't like that one. It was like the second to last one. And I don't know if they've ever gotten back together or not.
I think they have now.
They did come to Ottawa here, and they opened for the Ramones.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, in the later days of the Ramones, obviously. There, I was like, okay,
cool.
All right, Mr. Steve.
All right. So with this one, I'm sort of I hope this is allowed because I don't actually have the EP, which I was looking for last night. I was like, what? I don't have this? I love this. I don't know what happened. I did definitely used to have it. I guess, what sometimes happens is, I do play a lot of music, digitally. So, I play it as MP3s. And so I probably got in the habit of just playing as an MP3 and not realizing I don't actually have it. But also I've always known too that I do have 2 songs from the EP on vinyl. So I've got a promo copy, and this is the only way you can get any of the songs on vinyl is on this promo copy. So I think that's probably played a bit of a part too. I was like, I've got the promo 2 tracks from the EP on a promo record, 12-inch. So the band I'm talking about is Kick Tracy, and they put out an EP called Field Trip.
I have that on
And so,
CD. I have that on CD. Yeah.
yeah.
I have the
So this is
MP3s of
the
it.
so this is the promo. So if you want any, maybe Dan can help me out with the actual physical product. So this is the 2-track promo. So and it's got two of the best songs, Blood Brother and In Trance. So I would love it if it could come out on vinyl. Here we go. Dan can help me out here. That's the one. Yep. So I'm going to have to try and get hold of that. I'd just love it to come out on vinyl, though. I'm more of a vinyl guy than a CD guy these days. So, and if it's sort of not on vinyl, then I'm just tend to sort of just play it online. But
Yeah.
it's an amazing EP. So much better than their first album. I've got their first album. First album, it's okay. I could probably find it here quite quickly, actually, because it's right down here.
It's expensive
But
to
the
find
first
now on
album
vinyl,
is okay, but their EP so much better than their debut. Here's me saying I should be able to find it quickly. Now I can't find it. Here we go. So that's the debut.
I love that album.
Dana Strum from Slaughter produced it. It's a lot more hair metal than Field Trip.
Yes.
Field Trip, they're actually getting a little bit block your ears, Stan. They're getting a little bit grunge, just a little bit. Yeah,
I own it. So
yeah,
Mhm.
but not too much. There's still there. It's just I don't know. I just really like it. It blew me away when I heard it. Produced by Chris Goss, who's great producer. He's from Masters of Reality, the band, and he's produced Caius as well. So he's sort of known for a bit of stoner rock kind of stuff. I think he's really influenced the band in a really positive way. It's just a shame that it came out, and I think there's like, how many songs are there, Dan? Maybe 5 or 6 on that EP.
6.
Yeah. So that and they're all really good songs. Yeah. But it came out in 1992, so we all know kind of what happened there. I think if they had changed their name or were a new band, they would have been I reckon they might have got lumped in with the sort of alternative rock kind of bands that were coming in. But because of their debut, they had the hair metal tag already on them, and so that wouldn't have helped. But and then the vocalist Stephen Shiro, I think that's how you say it, something like that. He actually nearly became the vocalist for Motley Crue. He was very close.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, and then he also I think so. But then I also know he also almost became the vocalist for Velvet Revolver as well.
Okay, those two I didn't know.
Yeah. There we go.
All right. Well, I will go with my next one. I'm surprised this one hasn't shown up, but there's still another round.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go with this one here.
Oh, yes.
The Dungeons Are Calling.
I love that.
I thought you would pick this one here, Becky.
I didn't think of it. Honestly, didn't think of it. Yeah.
I love this one.
So do I, yeah.
This is a original one. They're not a repress. Those later ones there, like they reissued all their vinyl. But my God, like these songs, I actually prefer this than Sirens, believe it or not, which is their first album. This came out after, and then the only reason this was released was because they were switching record companies, if I remember correctly. And then this was like a leftover of the Sirens session. The Dungeons Are Calling, By the Grace of the Witch, Vision, Midas Night. That's I love that. That's probably my favorite of the. And of course, you got City Beneath the Surface and The Whip. City Beneath the Surface, that was called back. That's a song back from when they were called Avatar, I believe. But back then, when I started getting to Sabotage, it was Sirens and this as one CD. And of course, when you start collecting vinyl, like, I want this one alone because I love it like that much here. So the original logo. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, Sabotage, the Dungeons Are Calling EP. I seriously thought, Keith, you would have this one. You're the
If I'd thought of it, I would have done it. And even the cover where they're doing some sort of frontal lobotomy thing where he's sticking, like, I don't know what you call that, through the eye socket, something
I
like
honestly
that.
thought
And
this
it
was
just
like
drew me in.
based. I thought it was like a turkey baster or something, almost.
Yeah. And you're right. The whip is great on that, and Grace of the Witch is probably my favorite. Yeah.
Me, it's Midas Night. I love
Yeah.
that one there.
He sounds
right
mad.
now.
He sounds mad on that.
Oh yeah, I love. So anyway,
The vocals.
Sabotage, the Dungeons Are Calling. There's 6 songs. 2 of them, I believe, are from when they were called Avatar.
Yeah.
So there you go. Sabotage, the Dungeons Are Calling. And what is your next pick there, Mr. Keith?
That's a great pick, Dan. I probably wish I'd picked that actually from the next one. This one, my next pick, I don't think anyone will show, because this is a band that just divides people.
The Goblin Talk EP.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that again. That was for a lot of laughs. That one, and so this is Greta Van Fleet. This is their debut. Black Smoke Rising. So if I've touched base. I mean, a lot of people have touched base on this band about the vocal style and the rest of it. I won't go into that, but I just like the songs that they kept them pretty simple when they started off. I'm a Led Zeppelin fan, so of course a lot of this resonated with me. But it's just got some of their best songs. It's only got 4 songs. It's got Highway Tune, Safari Song, Flower Power. That's a slower one that I like, and Black Smoke Rising. If you like these sort of vocals, it's for you. They've just got a new album out, and some of the later albums I can't listen to a lot of, because it does grate a little bit on me, the vocals, but I do like the early stuff. They just kept it simple, and it's very much like when I remember back in the day when Kingdom Come first came out, and they just got lots of grief from how they sounded, and I quite like Kingdom Come now. Some of their songs.
Steve's a big Kingdom Come fan. Was the first, just out of a tangent, was the first album went gold by mistake, you think? Because everybody thought it was the next Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they got a lot of publicity, and some of it was not positive, not good publicity necessarily.
Not at all.
But they got their Get It On got quite a bit of airplay, this sort of thing, on music videos and things like that. So, but by the time the second album came out, no one was that interested at that point.
Yeah, well,
which is a shame, because I think the second album's even better.
Only the first one did well, I believe.
Yeah,
but I heard
they didn't really have massive hits. Get It On did initially had some buzz and stuff, but they released a couple of other singles that they didn't get the hit ballad that most bands sort of needed to do to be successful. So yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, sorry, Keith there. Curious.
No, that's it. That's my last pick.
All right,
I have that.
Greta Van Fleet.
Greta Van Fleet. I have that one, and it's funny because they sold it at Best Buy, and it was like a first pressing of it, and I bought it for like $15, and I went home and I looked it up, and it's like an $80 album.
Yeah,
really.
It's
I should have went back and bought the rest of them.
Yeah.
Have you checked it lately?
No, I haven't.
Have a look. It's more. It's more. Yeah.
Wow.
$81?
No, I think it's over close to 200 New Zealand dollars, maybe more
Whoa.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
Last time I checked, I think. Yeah. So I'm not sure what that is in US, but yeah, maybe it's 80.
But
Yeah, maybe
I'm
it's
sure
80.
it's more than $80.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
All right, Kevin.
So we're not supposed to talk about grunge, right?
You can do whatever you want.
So this one came out in, I guess, 1992. This one, back then, I don't think people really were into it too much, but nowadays it seems like they are. And that's the Alice in Chains Sap EP. This is the one that got big was the Jar of Flies one,
Yeah.
which was an acoustic mostly thing. But this one was the first acoustic EP that they put out. It's got 4 songs listed, and there's one bonus track that's just kind of crazy nonsense. If you haven't heard it, I don't know if it has a real name. It just shows up as untitled when I digitize this, so I don't know.
Oh,
But
track.
it's the songs Brother, Got Me Wrong, I think might have been on the radio. I don't know if it was or not. There's a song called Right Turn and Am I Inside. Just basically, acoustic stuff. It was a big departure from the first album. And then Dirt came out and they put out the Jar of Flies EP, and it's completely different. So I don't know. But this one, like I said, back then, I don't know anyone that had it besides me. And then years later, they combined this one and Dirt into one thing where you bought it. One side of it said this, and then the other side had the cover for that. I guess it opened both ways or something.
I remember it here. I remember Sap. I remember Jar of Flies. I thought Sap was a little bit after Jar of Flies, but
no. This one came out before Dirt came out. It was kind of an in-between thing, because I think they were the first album, Facelift, I think came out in 90 or 91, and then they didn't do anything for a little while because Dirt didn't come out for a couple years. So this was kind of the filler in between. Once they realized they were popular, I guess they had to put out something, and so that's when that came out.
is Am I Inside a song about sex?
I don't know, Dan.
That's why I was giggling when I was like,
no, I don't know. It's been a while. I have to listen to it and let you know on the next episode.
I was just, that's why I wanted to make sure I told everybody why I was giggling when Kevin was talking about the Am I Inside? I was like, huh?
Well, I have something to make you giggle after we do this. I'll
all right.
say it at the end.
All right.
If they were a hair metal band, then I'd say yes. But
Yes,
grunge, not sure that was really the lyrical focus.
It's probably got something to do with drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Steve.
All right. Just before I do go on to my last one. Now, Dan, Alice in Chains. I would have thought maybe you might quite like them because they're a bit grungy, but they're also a little bit. Yeah,
I don't mind them. I like.
There's a bit of metal there. There's a bit of.
It's a very simple metal, I find.
Yeah,
but
I've heard people say that they're a metal band. They're not a grunge band.
Yeah,
they just came out at that time. But
exactly.
I forget what song it's the name, but it was the first album with that new singer, and it's like,
oh yeah,
and he looks like he's on detuning and then retuning. Something in my head shake. Anyway, I love that song.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Mm.
I don't know what.
And when they first came out, I think they were even called the name of the band was like Guns N' Roses. It was like Alice In, like with an N, and they were like Alice in Chains, and they were a little bit more. They were more glam metal sort of image and sound than what they ended up becoming. So
check my brain is what it's. I just checked on my iTunes.
Oh yeah.
Love that song.
William someone's the new vocalist, I think. Or not, he's not new. He's been there for like
Yeah,
a
he's
while
been there
now.
for like
Yeah, yes. William. Yeah.
10, 15 years now.
Yeah, yeah. Right, you might have this one, Dan. So in fact, this could be maybe this is your last pick as well. So well, let me know. But I'm going with Hurricane, and
That's not mine.
it's good. It's
I
good.
thought
I'm
you
really
were
struggling to
mine.
get it.
My last one I thought was going to be yours.
Okay. Take what you want. Yeah, so this one's got 6 songs on it. Really good stuff. I'm a big fan of Hurricane. I love, well, they released 2 albums after this, which are both excellent. Slave to the Thrill is probably my favorite, but yeah, all the songs on here are pretty good. I don't like the ballad. It's Only Heaven. It's quite long and just is a little bit boring. But yeah, Take Me in Your Arms, Take What You Want. They've actually got a song called Hurricane that's really good, hot and heavy. Yeah, I think they're really underrated. Of course, Kelly Hansen is yeah, he sings for Foreigner now. He's great vocalist. Yeah, and I missed this the first when it sort of first initially came out. I yeah, I didn't sort of know about it for a while. So I sort of caught up on this later on. Because I think too, I heard that there's an EP. They're putting out an EP, but I didn't realize it's pretty much like all original material, and these 6 songs. So yeah, it's definitely worth picking up if you didn't know about it, or and you've got their first 2 full length albums. And yeah, I mean they've released some albums with a different vocalist, and I think they've actually got another. They're about to release a new album this year.
Pre-ordered.
Have you? Yeah, but another different vocalist, obviously not Kelly Hansen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, great EP. Yeah.
That is my favorite album from them. I like that one a lot.
Oh, really?
Mine. That's why I was paying attention. When I was looking on my Discogs. Looks like the one I have tagged is 6 songs on it, but for some reason I thought there was a little bit more.
Well, the CD has 7. So if you
I have the CD
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, the CD has 7. You get like a little
That's probably
instrumental
what I'm
song.
mixing it up with.
Yeah.
I'll go when it's not my turn after, but
yeah.
I'll show.
Yeah, so but it's just I think it's just an instrumental track, so I'm not that fussed about it. But
that instrumental that appears later on, which is calling a girl for a date there.
Yeah. Oh, is that the same song? Is it?
One has no vocal, or one has no guy. There's no phone call conversation, which is just instrumental. But Baby Snakes, is that? I forget what it's called there. It's pathetic. Like the guy keeps calling this guy for a date. I was like, oh my God, is this going to be over soon?
Yeah, Baby Snakes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So is Baby Snakes the instrumental song at the end of the EP? Is it?
Yeah,
but without the.
Yeah, one of them has the. Yeah, I'll get it there. It's right here there. But yeah, one of them is. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
It's a little bit bigger CD. Yeah, Baby Snakes, but I don't know if you guys can. It's got a lot more songs on it. It's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like a whole album.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I've got this on vinyl also, which is like yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baby Snakes is there with just as an instrumental. If the one with the phone call is on the first one there.
Oh yeah, no. So the one I was talking about isn't Baby Snakes. It's a different instrumental. Yeah.
There's another one on this. Okay.
Yeah. So there's, but because your one's got like 3 other extra tracks, hasn't it? So I can't remember the name of it.
Extra tracks. This is got the original version of "I'm On to You."
Yeah.
Maybe it's L.A. Luna. Is that no?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Anyway, this is my favorite one from them too. All right, good choice. All right, I'm gonna go with my third. I was sure Steve would pick this one here. but I'm gonna go with the Rat EP. And I'm actually gonna be proud. This is my bragging rights here. I've got a version that Steve doesn't have and he wants. So I found this on Facebook one time. It looks like every other Rat EP out there. The picture on the back is a little bit different. You'll notice there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 song titles, but on the album itself has 7 songs, and you'll see You're in Trouble. I don't know if you heard the version, Steve. It's not that good, but it's did you ever find the one? Did you ever find this, by the way? With the extra
No,
song?
but the story is, so I went out and I already had this, and I bought another copy, thinking, good, I've got the one that's got the bonus track because it has got the different back cover, right? So it looks exactly like Dan's, but yeah, no, it doesn't have the bonus track on it. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just got the 6.
The France one has an extra bonus track on it.
Yeah.
I would call it a demo version almost, but it's not. It's so not like the same. It's a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
You're in Trouble's a lot.
To be honest, I'm not really that fussed because I've got Out of the Cellar, which has that song on it, and that's the best version of that song. So really,
it's almost acoustic, like it's almost like an unplugged song there, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, but it's interesting. It's really weird though, isn't it, that it's a bonus track on, because it's Music for Nation, so it's the same label as your one.
Yeah.
But they only put it in one sort of territory or one area. Got the bonus track, and then they haven't even bothered to actually put it on the cover. It's just they put it on the record, and sort of on some versions there's a sticker on the front cover that says has a bonus track, but I mean your one doesn't have that. So you've got no idea that it's got that extra track on it.
I had to go on Discogs to see the track listing, and I looked for it because some guy said there's another version of this out there, and with You're in Trouble, which has a 7-song EP, which gets a little long for an EP there, but this whole EP, man,
it goes for good money though too. It's like, because I thought about like trying to buy, and it's like, I'm not going to spend $100 for one song, just for an extra song. That's pretty much what you have to pay, or 100 New Zealand dollars anyway.
I got that way back there, so
yeah.
But anyway, a lot of people prefer this version of Rat because it's raw, but more heavy, as opposed to Out of the Cellar's more polished. So yeah, You Think You're Tough is great. Sweet Cheater, it's catchy, but it's got these odd riffs in it there. But anyway, if you want to complete and on CD, forget about it. This is almost impossible to find. I have it, but it's impossible to find at a decent price on CD. I'm telling you that right now there. So yeah, the first Rat EP. I'm gonna go with that with my third pick right there.
I might have to acquire the MP3s from you.
What's that?
I said I might have to acquire the MP3s from you because I don't have that at all.
Really? It's I mean, I can send you the normal version. I don't have a USB plug-in for that one bonus song, but then again, it's not that good. I mean, it's okay.
Well, I've never heard that one. I have almost all their albums, but that one just somehow slipped through the cracks over the years.
It's hard to get on. It's hard to get on CD.
And now, like you said, y'all said it's very expensive, and I like Rat, but I don't love Rat.
I'll send you some there.
I saw an interview with Stephen Pearcy quite recently, and you know how they've just released the box set, which for some weird reason doesn't have that EP in it. He said that he's working on getting the EP reissued and re-released, probably on vinyl and CD, I'd say. So, so that's probably going to come out soon.
There you go. Cool. All right. I'll have to see the track listing if there's extra. All right, Keith, what's your what the hell was that word here? There, honorable mention. There you go.
Honorable mentions, yeah. All just what you're saying. All the Rat stuff I've got, none of it's on that Music for Nations label, so that must be a pretty rare one. My honorable mentions, I thought actually that you might pick up, talk about some of this, Dan. It's one of your favorite bands. So some Ghost. So I've got four that I'll quickly talk about, not Ghost, but just honorable mentions. So the Pope Star from Ghost,
Yeah,
the EP. That's a great one just for metal. The
that's
Hammer
my
song.
favorite one right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite too. And it's got Missionary Man. That's one. Of course, I don't have I have a copy on the Garage Days, but you just to save all the comments that'll come after this video, you've got to mention the Metallica 598 EP.
Yeah.
That one, another Contrarians. What a great song, Jailbreak. And finally, this one here, Intermission.
It was on my list too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got 6 songs on it from the. I love the concert from this. I think it was '86 San Diego Sports Arena, and I like this because in the concert footage, I love how he does that with the sword.
And it's got Time to Burn on that, right? As a new bonus studio track.
Yeah, the first song side too.
I have that, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
so
it's not on my honorable. I only chose one there, but there you go.
Yeah, those are my honorable mentions. Quickly,
perfect. Kevin,
I did one honorable mention because it's your favorite band. And I wanted to show this because you just absolutely love this band. You love the singer the most. Bang Tango, Ain't No Jive Live. 5 songs from the Marquee in California. It has songs from the first 2 albums, I believe. Dancing on Coals, 20th Century Boys, Someone Like You, Midnight Struck, and Attack of Life. So
is that a live album?
It's a lot. It's live. It's they
it's like
put out.
It's like a EP, like made in Japan, I guess. Like,
yeah, I guess. I mean, it's 5 songs. I think that it only has one place that it's recorded, so I guess it was just all from the same show. You know, it's what it makes it seem like. I had a friend who in college who was also into them, and he had another EP by them. He would always somehow find a way to break into my room and steal my stuff. And this was always in his damn CD player every time I went to his room. And I wouldn't even know he took it because, unless I was looking for it. And I'd go to his room and he'd have like posters that were on the wall in my room, on his wall. He'd have this CD. He would do it all the time. I don't know how he was getting in my room, but he could do it.
Well,
anyway, that's your favorite. I thought I'd bring that up.
Hey, I have the first 2 albums still there, but
yeah,
I don't have that one. There is a documentary. Did you see the documentary on YouTube about that band?
It's quite good, eh?
It's actually quite good.
Yeah.
It's on. It's Attack of the. You just said the song there. Attack of the
Life.
Yeah, that's the name of the documentary. It's on YouTube.
Okay. Cool. I'll look it up.
All right, Mr. Steve, honorable mention.
Yeah, I was going to do 2, and I'm going to I thought I'd go with sort of, I say local bands. One of them's Australian. It's not necessarily local, but down this way anyway. And the band is a band called Grinspoon. So this is only, from what I know, only on CD. Might be on vinyl now, I don't know. But I really love this EP. I quite like the band. But this came out in 1999, and Black Friday was one of the singles from it. It's got 6 songs on it. One of them is Black Friday Live, but the song to check out for me is More Than You Are. That's a really great song. And they also do a cover of Snap Your Fingers, Snap Your Neck by Prong, which is a great song. I love that song. yeah, so we're checking out. If you never checked out Grinspoon, they're kind of I guess they're alternative rock. It can get quite heavy though. And they've released quite a few albums. They're quite popular down this way, especially in Australia. They're quite big.
Never heard of it
Yeah, it's
here.
quite
Yeah,
quite no, it never really broke out, that big. But uh, yeah. So that's that one, and then the other one, New Zealand band. Although I don't know if Keith will have heard of these guys actually, because although they're a New Zealand band, they spend most of their time overseas, touring with big bands overseas. So this is Like a Storm, and this is
Oh, I
called
don't know
Chaos
that one.
Theory. You don't know
No,
that one?
no, I don't know that. I know Greenspoon, but I don't know Like a Storm.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So they're actually, it's three brothers. They're actually from Auckland here in New Zealand. But then they went over to the States, and that's kind of where they sort of tried to get going in the States, and ended up playing with Alter Bridge and bands like that.
Okay.
And they've got like 3 or 4 albums now, I think. But this is 7-track EP, sort of modern rock, and like I say, Alter Bridge kind of sound. They've toured with bands like that. So for a New Zealand band, they've actually been pretty successful. If you go and look at them on YouTube, the song "Love the Way You Hate Me" has got over 1 million views, which for a New Zealand band is pretty big. Like a Storm.
I haven't heard of those two yet.
Yeah, me either.
No.
All right, good choice. I guess good choices. I don't know. I've never heard them. All right.
Well, it's not hair metal, but it's a bit different. But I like it.
All right. I'll just show off I just chose one honorable mention. It's been mentioned before today. I'll go with the Queensryche EP. That one's actually showed up 3 times today, believe it or not. So I'm not gonna go. It's the 4-song version here. So I'm not gonna go talk about this one at all. But I got a question for you guys. This EP, so we've done all our 3 and honorable mentions. This EP came out. I at the time loved it, but now I can't stand it, and it was popular, but for all the wrong reasons. So do you guys remember this here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I loved this when it came out. Then, of course, I was, what year was this? 1985. I was 13 at the time. So like, I loved. Is it because of the videos? Because everybody loved this at the time, California Girls and Just a Gigolo. Then you're listening to this and you're like, my God, this is like not anything near hard rock, not even close to being hair metal. But people, I don't know about adults who like Van Halen, but did you guys like this at the time, or do you not like this? Or I liked it at the time.
Nah.
I remember.
No, I never liked it, Dan.
No.
Yeah, and I think it really put me off. Sort of buying his album. After that he put out his debut album, his debut solo album, and I think it made me quite reluctant to kind of be in a rush to check that out after sort of, I didn't know that it was the album's. Obviously that album's quite different. But yeah.
The videos for me, like as a young 13-year-old, like I love everybody like was talking about that album or that EP, I should say, back in the day. Now it's like completely I bought this in the $1 bin.
That's where I got mine.
Yeah.
It was popular though when it came out. I mean, like I said, the videos they were funny and ridiculous, and I mean, I liked them back then. I don't listen to it now, but I don't think it would bother me too much.
I never cared for those 2 other songs on side 2, Easy Street and Coconut Grove.
Yeah,
it's one of those rare albums. I never switched sides. I only went for
what songs did yours have?
Easy Street and Coconut Grove.
Mine has California Girls on side 2 and Coconut Grove. I don't have Easy Street.
I don't know the side. Sorry, well, on the cassette, I had the cassette. I got the cassette at the time. Wow. Okay. I forgot this was in there. It doesn't really say what, yeah, I guess.
Oh, wait. Yeah, mine does it. Mine has Easy Street. It says it's on side 1, though.
Yeah, Easy Street is on side 1 with Just a Gigolo, I Ain't Got Nobody. Then side 2.
Yeah.
I guess the cassette had different, but there was 2 songs I really didn't care for at the time.
Okay. Yeah.
But everybody loved this. Like, everybody's like, oh my God, Diamond Dave, is like, blah, blah. I just found this really did not age well. But
No.
But yeah, everybody, like I said, at the time was like, you know, I got the new Wasp and I got the new David Lee Roth EP. Like it was part of a conversation. I was just curious to see what you guys thought about that one there.
I'm more of a fan of the video, I think, like you're saying. Yeah, and I was got a young fella at the time, and yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I asked my friends, I'm like, remember when we were kids or teens and we were crazy about that? I'm like, why the hell were we crazy about that when the music is shit? And the guy goes, the videos.
Yeah, he was going to make it. He was going to make it. He was going to make a movie. I think he was working on it at the time when those music videos were coming out. So,
I mean, his videos are entertaining. Don't get me wrong. For the first couple of albums there, but I was just curious. Did you guys ever watch on YouTube his barbecue thing there, or have you heard about it? No. Just Google David Lee Roth and then barbecue, and it'll bring you to a homemade movie he did, and it's like I couldn't even make it past the first 5 minutes. It was just like, what the hell am I watching?
I know there's some stuff with him being like some kind of karate guy or something like that he did. It was pretty hilarious.
I didn't see that one.
I don't know what it's called though. My friend showed it to me one time. I was like, "This is ridiculous," but I'm watching it.
Yeah, exactly. Check out. Just go to YouTube and do David Lee Roth and barbecue, and you'll be like, okay, whatever.
Is that recent? Is that a recent thing, the barbecue thing, or is it old?
It was before the Van Halen reunion with A Different Kind of Truth. I know that. It's probably because I think there's footage. I have the album. It's called Diamond Day, which is a bunch of covers, which sucks. And there's parts of that. There's a video he did, Shooby-Doo, something like that there. Parts of that video are from that movie. So it's that era. That makes any sense there?
Yeah.
I mean, don't rush to YouTube to go and check it out there yet there, but you got time to waste. I would.
That's all I have.
Yeah, it's I don't know what to make of it there, but all right. Anything else you guys want to add?
Well, I just wanted to add something I thought was kind of funny. Since the last episode we talked about goblin cock, right? So last Saturday I'm in the record store walking around, and something makes me think I need to look for goblin cock. I walk around this store 3 times looking everywhere for this, and then I realize, what am I doing with my life that I'm walking around the store looking for goblin cock? And so I stopped at that, and I just thought that was kind of funny.
So I take it you didn't find any goblin cock?
It took me a while before I was like, why am I looking for this?
You didn't go up to the old guy at the counter that's been there for years and said, "Hey, have you got any?"
No, absolutely.
He'd probably look at you strange.
And since it was Saturday,
buy some goblin cock.
It was busy in there, so there were, because it was Saturday and there were women everywhere and everything. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to ask.
No way I'm going to say that.
If they have any goblin cock.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you guys all for participating in this here. Great choices. Check out Steve's Rock and Metal Invasion channel, Kevin's Sonic Boom TV channel. I'll put all the links below, and of course, birthday boy Keith's Attack from Down Under. Now you can actually go and eat some fatty foods there to get rid of that hangover there, Keith.
Yeah, might have to have a big breakfast.
There you go. You did good today, though. I would never be able to tell you went to celebrate your birthday yesterday. So. All right. Well, on that note, like I said, if you guys like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Check out my friends also from the Kansas Connection. Check out their channels also. And we shall see you guys next time. Take care.